the thing. Welcome to the Seahawkers podcast. It is game night. We are here pre-gaming at the biggest game of the year. Adam, I could not concentrate today. I could do nothing today. I did some client work, sure. But all day I've been locked into this game and we are coming up on it. We're live tonight. We're going to go through news, notes, updates, Blue Friday bets, and the vibe check, everything about it. Adam, how are you feeling on game night, bud?
What were you saying there? I couldn't concentrate because it's game day, and we're only what about 2 hours away here, so that's pretty cool. I can't wait. It's boy, I'm edgy. I'm a little edgy, Clinton. I'm not gonna lie. It feels like I've got some nervous excitement because I really do believe in this defense. I really do believe in what my eyes told me the last time these two teams played. Mm-hmm. I really do believe what my eyes have seen out of the offense the last couple of weeks. And that all starts to come together, and it's a mix of emotions, but I'm fired up for it. They have a great opportunity, and they absolutely can win this game. It's not like we're going into this being like, maybe. It's more like, okay, we really can do this. Let's see.
Yeah, we absolutely can. And we're going to go through some of the picks and stuff later in the second half of this pregame. And, the script is flipped a little bit. 2 days ago, it was Seahawks getting 1.5. It is now Seattle giving 1.5, a 3-point swing in the Vegas odds makers. So the money is moving to the PNW. So we're going to get into all that. We got people piling in, which is freaking fantastic. We are so pumped. We'll go through some of as many comments as we can, but of course we got to hit Shane Turner Acoustic right away with the Australian $2.99 super chat.
That's awesome.
Saying, hey, legends, go Hawks. Shane is a musician over in the west coast of Australia. If you're anywhere near him, check out his music or go to his Facebook page, like it there, et cetera, support the dude. He's a real good guy. Look, Shane, if the Seahawks end up playing the Rams in Australia next year, you and I, buddy, we got to play an acoustic duo set with all the flockers. Because, Adam, would that be fun?
It'd be awesome. I don't care who the Hawks play in Australia. If that happens, that's our away game. I'm going. I've always wanted to go, and that'd be a ton of fun. Much like tonight will be, Clinton. I think when it's all said and done, we do have Ram Faithful with us here. Ram Faithful 39. Here we go. Game of the year, two best teams in the NFL. You can absolutely win tonight. And I love that in the spirit of competition. Mm-hmm. We're going after each other. It is, I do believe, between the two best teams in the NFL. Yeah, probably in the NFL. Definitely the NFC. And it's going to be one that we talk about for probably this entire offseason. I think this is going to be a game that really shapes a lot of what happens over the next 6 months for this team.
Man, it's very rare you could say that, right? Like that
a regular season game, right?
Right. Well, because that, crosses clearly into the playoffs. And then it's like, okay, look, who are we? What are we? Are we going to go toe to toe with a team that right now absolutely can run the ball better than we can? And we're going to talk about the weather in a second. Is our defense, can they sustain a team that can run the ball, that is a really good offense to the rim? We've done it before. You said that earlier. We've been checking the box every single week, but it really will shape. Also, can we run the ball at all? Can we get some semblance of a run game going against a good defense? We did it last time versus the same Rams, so why not? But I love your point, dude, that, yes, of course, this is huge for the 1 seed and the rest of this season, but this game and how we show up and show out, it has a lot of implications for that. Like, okay, what's our draft look like? And of course, we're not talking draft because we want to talk Super Bowl and things like that and playoffs, but that's how important this is, right? So the folks that could feel that, I think, are all here with us right now, and probably many, many more across the PNW and the entire globe. So Adam, what do you say? We got some things to get to.
Yeah.
I put together this frothy, beveragey looking thumbnail, and
you stole that from the bootleg guys. Is what I'm getting there. You bootlegged it from bootleg.
I bootleg from bootleg. Hey, hey, if you're gonna copy somebody, copy greats, right? Stand on the shoulder
Absolutely.
of EJ and Brooke. I just need that little crack sound when they have their opener, because they do a darn good job with that. Love the bootleg guys. All right, so hey, if you're out there right now, very, very simple. please subscribe. We're hitting some new milestones. Love to have you on YouTube. Getintheflock.com if you want to contribute monetarily to the show. Hit the like button right now. It's right there. You're staring at the screen. Hit like, jam that thing, get the hawker going, drop comments. Man, we are so fired up. So look, we put a poll out. We looked at this last night, just saying kind of vibe check. Where are we temperature wise? So the question was confidence level, Adam, versus the last game. Is it right where we were? Same? Is it less than last time versus the Rams, or is it even more? So more people voted since yesterday. And Adam, 41% say same. A good chunk saying more confident, but there's almost a third of our flockers out there, almost 1/3, who are less confident than they were in week 11. What do you think, dude?
Yeah, it's interesting how this all worked out. Pretty equal across the board, really, when you look at it. I only have one question. Who's the dude on the bottom?
That's Robin. That's Robin.
Oh, it is?
It's Robin from Teen Titans Go specifically. And in the show Teen Titans Go, he's the leader of that brigade. And he is like extremely the most cocky, arrogant. That's his trope. So
yeah, so he's like Bronco Jared. I got it. Okay, that really does check out. But as I look at this, Clinton, I'm somewhere between Ren and Stimpy here and Butters. I'm right in between there. But then again, I think some of us, like, we go into these sort of things and we're more optimistic because that gives us the confidence to do well at the challenges we have in life. Some of us having a little bit of reservation and trepidation, like that allows us to be sharp and focused going into a big event in life. Everybody does it different, and that's what you see in the poll here.
Yeah. So if folks want to tell us in the comments right now where your confidence level is at, if you're whether you're Stimpy, Butters, or Robin from Teen Titans Go, let us know. We could decode it from there. So that was a lot of fun. All right. So we got a lot of news to run through quickly, news and notes. And we do have the inactives coming out right now. I see the Seahawks stuff, but on the injury report itself, Adam, pretty clean sheet, except for a very significant member of our team, including our left tackle, Charles Cross. We thought he'd miss, but now the report did come out. I think it was yesterday or earlier today. I think it was yesterday that Charles is going to be missing maybe 2 to 4 weeks. So this is like, dude, get well for the playoffs type thing. So I know that news, we were talking quickly before, I think that hit you live. So what's your reaction to that?
Yeah, that definitely is a massive, massive bummer. We say it all the time on the show. It's a tale as old as time.
Yeah.
Everything is won and lost in the trenches when it comes to the game of football. And Charles Cross is a top half of the league left tackle, no doubt about it. And those guys do not grow on trees. They're hard to come by. And that's going to hurt. Now, we do have Josh Jones. And I've watched him play a little bit for this team and be that swing tackle and do some things and look serviceable. So it's not like we're going to, dude, who was the guy that ended up filling in at right tackle towards the end of the year? Like, not LeMaya, but like, it was somebody really bad. A white dude.
This year?
Last year.
Oh, last year. Not Stone Forsythe, yeah?
Not Stone. Oh, shoot. I can't think of his name for the life of me. But
I don't know.
At the end of the day, that's the entire point. Like, Josh Jones is better than that guy, right? We got to dumpster fire land when we ended up with a key injury. Now, this is the first, I believe, real FU injury from the football gods this year. And we'll see how it goes. But hamstrings hurting both offenses in this game, Clinton. And maybe that is part of why the money moved in the markets there, too. Maybe people thinking Adams impact more so than Cross. We'll see.
There's definitely a couple of reasons the markets could have moved, and a sneaky one we're going to get into just in a little bit. Might as well give you the inactives because they're coming over live. So we'll start with Seattle, then we'll flow over to the Rams. Inactives for Seattle. We know about Cross. He's out. Bobo is not dressing tonight. So Jake Bobo out. Jared Ivey, who hasn't played yet, they're just kind of redshirting him, but keeping him on the 53 basically, out. Bryce Cable will not play. Mason Richmond will not play. Jalen Milroe, so no surprises there. However, nose tackle Brandon Peely also not active, meaning Riley Mills is active. Now, look, I got to tell you, if you said healthy Brandon Peely, which he is, versus very inexperienced Riley Mills, look, I know it was only 7 snaps, and I want the rookie to get his licks. I would prefer probably to have the more stable dude who could spell right now and stop the run with Peely. So what do you think of that? Is it a bit of a, roll the dice in your opinion, or no?
It is a little bit of a roll of the dice. You are trading a little bit of certainty for uncertainty and a bigger body, I believe, in Peely than Riley Mills.
Yep.
And so that's interesting there. But you would think that the coaching staff must feel good about the rotation they have through the D tackles, in Mike Moby in there as well, that he can kind of knock inside if you need him. And he's a little bit bigger body. So we'll see how it goes. Interesting thoughts there. Other than Cross, nothing that makes you go, whew, that really hurts our chances in a big way in this game. No doubt about it.
I agree, but I do like what Peely's been showing us, and I really like what Godzilla Hawk is bringing to the table.
Mark.
What's up, Mark? So Mark coming in with a $10 super chat saying, for the Hawkra, for the win, cheers, and go Hawks. Well, dude, Mark, I cheered you in IRL down in Tennessee. I'll cheers you via this StreamYard. Appreciate you, dude. A ton. All right, so let's flip it over to the Rams. So the graphic I put on screen here, I think it was Hawk Bloggers because I saw him tweet it, and I'm pretty sure it's his. But so I think credit due to Brian for putting this together. But the cool part about the stat there and the little frigid Rams there is that they're 2-6, basically in cold conditions, which is under 50 degrees is how they did the math. So 2-6 under 50 degrees. It's going to be under 50. We'll talk a little more weather in a second. Rams got a pretty long list, but I actually have over the wire the inactives, which matters more than what's on screen. Akella Witherspoon out. Very importantly, Devontae Adams out. We got Jarquez Hunter, their backup running back. Bo Limmer, the backup O lineman. Nick Hampton, their linebacker, and then Stetson Bennett, the fifth quarterback from Georgia. So who cares? But that's it for the Rams. But Devontae Adams certainly out. What do you think that does to Tutu Atwell comes off IR last week, but he ain't no Devontae Adams. What do you think this does to the Rams team in general?
Well, it's definitely a big red zone concern, I believe, for the Rams, because you look at really what Devontae's biggest contribution to this offense has been. And this isn't taken away from other things that he's done on the field. He's a damn good player. He has been a monster in the red zone for him. Once it took about 5-6 weeks, but once Stafford and him clicked in that red zone, he's a big part of that.
Yeah, I agree.
And so if that makes it so that on 2 attempts down in the red zone, instead of being able to punch it in because you have Devontae Adams on your team and you're trusting the thicker kicker otherwise, and you're stopped for a field goal, those are big swings. And look, that's a massive deal for the Rams. And it also makes it so that it's a little easier to concentrate some of your coverage on Puka instead of instead of having to separate your corners and your concentration on 2 really great receivers. So some advantages, Hawks, there for sure.
Well, Puka has been having maybe some, let's call them concentration issues this week. Let's just call them that. Leave the discussion to others on he's with streamers trying to get them into the LA facility. McVay's pissed at him. Then he's on camera with streamers doing some things that some folks
streamers like as in like
YouTubers,
people?
TikToker YouTubers, without going into too many details, doing some motions and dances that some are like, hey, that's clearly anti-Semitic, and you're hanging out with a dude who's had some,
so it got weird and political and all that too.
Well, I mean, political maybe. It got weird. It certainly got weird. Bad choices, and the Rams fans that are out there, even Locked On Rams, their thumbnail was like, "What was Puka thinking?" It's like McVay pissed off. That was their thumbnail today. So it's like, cool. Take all the distractions you can. Look, he's a young man. Hopefully, he just hangs out with people that hang out with whoever the heck you want to, but be smart, dude. With all that, we've got Ryan posing a really good question. Ryan Bowen saying, who would you rather be out, Cross or Adams? So I'll give that to you, Adam, because you're the Adam on the screen. Adam.
Okay. So if I was the Rams, like how much, I guess I'm confused by the question because they play on different teams.
I know, but it's like,
yeah.
Let's say you put it in a vacuum and you're like, which one hurts more? Let's just put it that way.
Okay. Whew, it's a big question too. I'm going to say Adams hurts more because of just what I said earlier with the red zone stuff and pulling attention off of Puka and kind of opening things up for them. I mean, but it's not by a lot, because what Charles Cross brings to the offensive line, the stability, the good pass pro, the pretty darn good run blocking, and kind of solidifying that left side with Zabel, that's hard to put a dollar amount on or a value on, right? But I do believe in the ability of Josh Jones. So I think the fall off between Cross and Jones, even though it's a pretty good fall off, I think that's lesser than from Devontae to say like somebody like Tutu Atwell.
Yeah. I think so too. I think so. And we shall see how it all pans out. Often Cross is the dude on our team who gets left alone. You know, he's the one who gets the lonely island treatment. And, you know, he does a beyond serviceable job. He's a good left tackle. So can Jones do that? And then suddenly do we have to bring more of the 12 personnel in and give him the Salbert and Barner help over there, and maybe the chips from Charbonnet? We shall see. Going over to the Jones side, don't know. It's going to be tough either way, but I think I just think it with other conditions and things like that, I think this might hurt the Rams a bit more. We shall see. All right, we're going to move on to maybe that last factor. Well, there's two more factors about why the line might be moving. But for those that know That's Good Sports, Brandon Perna, of course, he was on our show after, Brandon, you had jinxed the Broncos, right? So not even jinx. What was the proper term?
Oh, I developed the Let's Ride curse and placed it upon them. Yeah,
there you go. So the Let's Ride curse. It's so long ago, I almost forgot. But so Perna has for those that don't know, that you see it on screen there, that colorful wheel. He calls it the curse wheel, and he puts the power ranked teams on there. So it's not all the teams. So it's basically the top, I don't know how many numbers, but the top level teams on there. He spins it every week, and whoever it lands on tends to be cursed. And just yesterday, that puppy landed on the Los Angeles Rams. Adam, you know a lot about the Perna curse. How you feeling about this extra bit of maybe juice for us?
I'm not a math major, but if you go back and you look at how accurate it is compared to how many possible different outcomes he could have every week, and it hits, man. He really does put that curse on those teams, and not him. He blames the wheel. He separates himself from that quite a bit, the devil magic that is the wheel. But that honestly gave me a big boost. And then you talking about this Puka inflammatory dance thing or whatever it was. Those are distractions. I love that. So you got crazy distractions. You got curse wheel. You got a little bit of rain. Maybe you got a good chance at some wind. And all of a sudden I'm feeling a lot better about this game going in, even if it's irrational. I don't care.
That's okay. We like irrational confidence. Ram Faithful with a good comment. So again, him hanging out here. Cool. You know, like in about
absolutely. Yeah.
It's all good. And I like this is Adams, not a huge loss. It's big, but we can switch styles. McVay does it often, and Adams does not play every down. Cool. True. Appreciate it. And if you guys try to get into your 13 personnel, which seemingly every NFL media seems to think the Rams invented 13 personnel, by the way. Oh my gosh, look at the things they do out of 13 personnel. They invented
and they act like they run it like primarily.
Yeah,
too,
right.
Which is not the case.
72%, 13 personnel into Wishbone all of a sudden. But if McVay and the Rams are something, it is chameleons. So the point that Ram Faithful is making, it's a good one. So we're not going to kill him for that. Look, the Rams have gone through a couple of different incarnations of themselves, right? 11 personnel heavy, or the Todd Gurley days, and then 13 personnel this year. So they can flex. And why can they flex? They're well coached, and they have a good offensive line, and they have a really good quarterback. When you got those things, you could flex to different positions, more easily than the average bear. So we appreciate the comment, and you could also kick all the rocks. It's all good, but we appreciate you being here, dude. It's two things. This stuff can be two things, right? Yeah, so the last factor is that it might be sloppy out there, Adam. It might be sloppy. Shout out to Amy for putting these graphics, not the Family Guy one, but the other graphics into our Discord before. And the hour by hour is looking like it looks like it will rain during the game. The percentages are climbing, and the wind kind of sustains with some pretty heavy gusts expected during the game. What do you think about the impact?
Yeah, I think gusty wind conditions are awful to play in. They're one of the worst. I think they affect throwing the football more so than the rain even. It's going to be really interesting to see how that goes. The other thing that I took away from the screenshots that Amy sent us here is that she must be out like planning an op somewhere. I didn't know she was special forces, but like, yeah, the military time. That's amazing. I didn't realize that we were going to play at 18:15 Montana time today. Like, I didn't know that, but I hope her OPSEC is good and all that. But other than that, the win, I think it's going to be a big deal, Clinton. I don't know if you feel the same about it or if this is just one of those things where you're like, I don't know, man, this doesn't seem to be a big deal.
No, I mean, wind is tough. Wind is very tough. And I think it's tough think about both team styles, right? So I think the Rams can and do more short horizontal stuff than the Seahawks do. We kind of both do longer developing plays. Stafford does like to take his shots and he will throw it, but I feel like they have a few more arrows in the quiver when it comes to being crisp with the horizontal stuff and crisp with the screens. Our bubbles sometimes hit, our screens rarely hit, right? So if that's the factor, we'll see. But I think a big factor within the whole thing is that, look, Sam Darnold has played pretty well in rain. Matthew Stafford has not really performed well in bad weather. So that could be just in and of itself the biggest factor. We'll see. We'll see how wet it is out there. We'll see how much wind there actually is. Sometimes there's these predictions and then, it's a little bit of wind or there's some, but it's not really changing the game. And then if it comes down to field goal kickers, we got Myers, who's, just longer tenured and more accurate. And they got the thicker kicker who, who knows what you're going to get in a windy day from the thicker kicker. I certainly don't know. But any other takes about any of these things that might impact the game before we head on to a couple of other segments?
The last little nugget I'd add on the weather part of it is that it really does help the defense more than anything. So if your advantage in this game is having the better defense, which is exactly what our advantage is, the weather really plays to that. Yeah,
agree. And I also agree with Nightbot saying, become a member of the flock, join on the channel or getintheflock.com. That's how you slip a little promo in. All right. So we do have the rooting guide, even though really it's all about tonight and root for the home team. And we are, TNF and it's in our house, but I did want to put this up because we do it every week and we're not going to get a chance to do it, but we could run through it quickly. Obviously we got tonight's game. Then Saturday, this is a pretty cool slate. Commanders playing the Eagles. I think it's go Commanders for now. Why not? Packers. I think we want the Packers to beat the Bears, Adam, because
maybe
I think so. I think because the Bears are, the Bears could still compete for the number 1 seed. So I think like them jockeying with each other, I think is better for our deal. But of course, there's a lot of Plinko chips and pegs to still go to see where it all falls out. But I think we want the Packers to win. Sunday, Chargers over Cowboys. I think put them out of their misery. All good. Bucks versus Panthers. Hell's bells.
Sure.
Flip a coin. It's like somebody go win it and the other person just go home. Falcons over Cardinals solely because if the Falcons win, the Rams first round pick next year gets worse. So go Falcons, go Kirk. And then Steelers over Lions. If we are to lose tonight, and I don't think we will, I don't want us to, of course, I don't think we will. But if we do, the Steelers beating the Lions would also clinch for Seattle because I don't think they can get to 11 wins at that point, which is what we currently have. Monday, we get the River Raid back. We get to watch Phillip Rivers go against the 49ers. So, of course, Colts over Niners. Any games there most intriguing to you, or screw this, get back to Seahawks?
No, not screw this, get back to Seahawks. I'd say Packers over Bears, I'd have to say is TBD. Let me know after this game, and I'll tell you who to be rooting for in a few days on that one. Because if the Hawks do lose this game, you're going to be competing for a wild card. In the Packers, because I feel like the Bears are probably going to end up taking this division after the Parsons injury. So, like, more losses for the Packers probably helps us out in terms of wild card stuff. Chargers over Cowboys. Yeah, just always kind of screw the Cowboys. Bucks Panthers. I'm with you. I have no idea. And then why do you have to make me feel dirty in your rooting guide? Falcons over Cardinals. Gross. I hate rooting for the Falcons. I mean, I don't exactly love rooting for the Cards either, but I can't stand that team. But you're right. It does it does behoove us
Yeah.
for the Falcons to basically like win out, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Steelers over Lions, same thing. Screw this gross Steelers. Why?
But
I hate those people, but
I
yeah,
do
I
like
get it.
playoffs. I do like playoffs. So, because
And then,
yeah,
Colts Niners last one, the Rivers raid. Like this is going to be fun to see Brock Purdy get to see what future Purdy looks like. You know, just old and run down, coming back to the league, still a minus arm, and never have won a Super Bowl. So, yeah, it's going to be fun.
Awesome. All right. So that's our news, our notes, that's our recap and our pregame as we get into and get ready for kickoff in just about over an hour. But we have the second half of this live show right now. We're going to flip over to Blue Friday Bets only on a Thursday to celebrate Taco Tuesday. Blue Friday Bets is the only Seahawks only gambling show in the entire multiverse. We're going to go through picks, parlays, props. But the cool part is if you hang around, yes, we are looking at some wagers, but it's through the veil of, well, what do we think is going to happen in this game? So it's another way to preview what we think is coming up. And last week, and if you're like, well, what the heck do you guys know about gambling? That's what I think people would say. What the heck do you know? Well, here's what we know. I know last week, my man Adam here went 3 for 3 on what we call the regular bets. I went 1 for 3. Not too bad.
That's not shabby.
It would get me into the Hall of Fame if I'm a baseball player, but you had 3 for 3. Which one is there? One or two you'd like to really call out and say, man, did I nail that one?
I think just the easiest of all of them for me to hit, I believe, for that week was Jonathan Taylor over 20.5 rush attempts.
Yeah.
You just knew that they were going to run the heck out of the ball, no matter what, even if they were down a bunch. So that made it easy. But yeah, that was kind of a difficult game to bet. And I'm pretty pleased with the way everything turned out there. I love that you hit on your Sam Darnold to rush over 5 yards. That was a huge bet for you.
Five or more.
Kind of fun.
Five or more because he hit exactly 5 yards. So that was
exactly.
Yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah.
The funny one, of course, is I had Rivers at 27.5 pass attempts.
Oh gosh, that's right.
He threw exactly 27 passes, which that's just funny because how the heck did they know? All right, so if you are new to Blue Friday Bets, you saw we had 4 bets on screen. But it's a little game within a game. Bet 1, bet 2, and bet 3. Those are $10 bets. You can take anything on the board that your heart cares for, whatever the odds, who cares? You bet it. Bet 4, we call it down 4, the Fail Mary, the Sunday Scratcher, the Sunday Rubber. Everybody calls it that. And it must be plus 1,200 or longer odds to even qualify. It's a lot of fun that way. So let's bring it back to this screen. Adam, you have honors because we do it golf rules. You whipped my butt last week and a couple of weeks in a row, frankly. So you got the ball, you got the tee, you're out on the driveway. How you leading us out?
Oh, I'm on a heater here, and so is our defense, Clinton. And that's why my first bet this week is for Matt Stafford to throw under 232.5 yards for minus 111. So relatively close to even odds there. And this is just based on a few things. One, our defense, they're great. I love our defense, and they really made it difficult on Matt Stafford last game, and that was with Devontae Adams, and that leads to the second point. No Devontae. That's a big deal. I think that's going to hurt them. And then lastly, we've talked about it just a bit ago, the weather. I think that's going to be a big factor here in why I'm betting the under, minus 111.
I like it. And to talk about the weather even just a little bit more, I'll carry it over to my bet 1. Simply looking at, I think 42.5 points is a lot total. That's what Vegas has it at. So at minus 110, I like the game total just to go under in general for all the reasons you just said. And these are 2 of the best defenses in the league, and both are missing a crucial part of their offense. So, and the weather's bad, and there's a Perner curse. So all those things being said, if it gets to 23-20, will I be shocked? No, I won't be shocked. Obviously, Vegas won't be shocked either. That's kind of where they see the game, it looks like. But something more along the lines of 1916, 20-17, 2019 feels probably more right. And as the week progressed, I was more and more in the hey, I don't think this is going to hit on a Thursday night. What do you think?
I really like this bet. In fact, I was almost tempted. I did a profit goose and took it all the way down to like under 33.5 or something quite low. And it was for like plus 250 or plus 300. And that was almost my final bet because I'm really with you on this. 2 great defenses, bad weather night, outdoors. Sure.
Right. Yep. I think that's all the reasons I needed there too. All right. Bet number 2, by the way, we don't know what each other's going to bet. We do them in isolation. We put them back together.
Okay.
And well, you don't know what I'm going to bet. I see yours later, but I put mine on paper before I see yours typically.
Of course.
And we were both hitting an under for the first bet. Little foreshadowing. We're both talking about Sammy Bear on bet number 2. Take it away for you.
All right, man. This is my bet for the Hawker this week. Sam Darnold under 0.5 interceptions. This is a bet on Sam finding it this week in putting to bed the demons that are the Rams to him. And yeah, this is just pure putting it out there into the universe, betting on your dude and trying to infuse him with some confidence here on game day, putting out the best Hawker to Sam Darnold. Let's go out there and have a good game. It doesn't even have to be a great game. Just maybe just even a little bit above what we saw last week. If you could just do that, no turnovers, maybe be just a tiny bit more efficient and maybe score 1 to 2 more touchdowns in there. And all of a sudden it's a huge game for him. It doesn't have to be a great game. Let's go out there because nobody can deny this is a massive football game. It's a huge game. If he can go out there, play well, lead the team to victory, big deal. Part of that, not turning the ball over, under 0.5 interceptions, plus 111.
Love it. I love where you're putting the Hawkra and the faith chips in the quarterback that, hey, for those that are with us for the first time, you wouldn't know that Adam has had his reservations all the way back in the offseason through now about Sam, and rightfully so in certain instances. Overall, we look at the record. We know it's 11-3. And again, this is Sam's chance to write the next narrative and be like, okay, that old narrative that in some of the bigger games, including the game just a couple of weeks ago now where he threw 4 picks, he could rewrite that and really begin to change the course of his career again with a W tonight. And if he goes with no interceptions and we parlay that with a W, it will go a long, long way. So my Hawker is with you. And I hate the friggin' Rams. So that's great. I'm going to put a parlay together that maybe it's a bit risky, but it gets me to plus 237. And on a windy night in the Pacific Northwest, you might say, well, dude, you got some balls there. But I got Sammy Bear passing for over 223.5. So it means 224 yards, which I think he can do. Again, windy and all, but I don't think we run the ball very well. So I think it's going to be up to Sam to throw the ball quite a bit tonight. And Stafford under 228.5. I get to 237 with that combo. So Sam over his over under, Stafford under his under over. And the only thing that I would like is I liked your 232 and change better than the 228 that I saw for Stafford, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. I think it's risky, but I'm also kind of going with the Hawker tonight, Adam.
I see where you're at. I'm glad we're both on the track of let's put out a little good energy towards Sam, much like Michael Knight coming in with the $5 super chat is putting out towards us. Thank you, buddy. I love that. But going back to your bet here, man, the 223 over for Sam is the part that makes me pucker a little bit. But so did my bet because of the Sam part. But you got to have some confidence in your dudes at some point. This is a big moment. I'm putting it out there for him. You are too. I like it. And I think that honestly, whether you'd gotten 232 or 228, whatever it was that you ended up with there for Matt Stafford, I like that half of the bet easily either way.
I like that. And got Zero Hawk saying 69 people watching and only 26 likes. You know what to do, flockers. We got it at 146 live at this point. So hit that like button. It takes literally, I don't know, less than a second, but it just tells other people, hey, if you're a Seahawks fan, you might dig this show. And we got Andrea Springer saying 69. Nice. So, which is cool. Michael Knight, by the way, have fun out there. He's in Vegas with his wife. He's been sharing some pictures of his adventures in our Discord. Nice. I won't give all the details, but I know Michael laid some lumber on the Seahawks tonight. Michael, if you want to share it, go ahead, put it in the comments, but good luck on your bet. Cause I saw what you did and I commend you, sir. I hope it hits for you. All right. So back to it. That will bring us to, I think we're on bet 3. Is that correct? I believe so. All right. Bet 3 for you, Adam, take it away, bud.
All right. Well, I love where our defense is. I love betting on them. I love having confidence in our quarterback. That's always fun. I also love the future defensive rookie of the year, Nick Emanwari, and what he's brought to this team, how much he's involved, how much he's screwing stuff up out there, man. He goes out there and he just messes up the play, and it's amazing. So versatile, so explosive, so raw, but still putting up big numbers. 5 out of his last, I think it was 8 games, he's had 5 or more tackles. And I'm betting on that. I think he's going to be involved a lot, especially if it's bad weather. And you see a lot of the 13 personnel of the Rams, and they're running a lot of tight end stuff. You're going to see a lot of Emanwari involved with that. I love that matchup. So I got Nick Emanwari to have more than 4.5 tackles at plus 124. So not quite as aggressive as your last bet at plus 237, which that was healthy, by the way. I'd forgotten to mention that.
It was healthy. You know what happened today? I ended up in a nice text exchange with the one, the only Wilson Kahn. So we were chatting today. We weren't going through the bets. I did say, hey, dude, we make the playoffs. You want to do a guest appearance back on Blue Friday Bets? And he was like, ooh, I think I can. So it'd be really nice to have him back in the studio. But he's doing well. Otherwise, got through his first semester of law school. He's kicking butt out there. But what else is new when it comes to Wilson Kahn and life, right? So the dude's doing good things. Hey, Emanwari, I like how you said it. He's out there. He's a professional mess, upper. And, the way he's deployed is a lot of fun. And if it's going to be a game if this game is windy and a little wet, and because of that, it's more around the line of scrimmage, well, then boy, do I love this bet, Adam. Those things all together, that means he gets an opportunity or 3 or 4 or 5 more, and he's really good. So love that. Okay. So if I were to ask you, I'm going to go to my bet 3. If I were to ask you, how many yards do you think JSN, let's just say, put it in a vacuum. What do you think the over under is for JSN tonight for yards receiving?
The line that Vegas set for the over?
No, like where do you think it might be? Like, it's say, okay, I think JSN, chalk him up for whatever.
I'd say the over under to me would be 85.5.
Okay. I think that's, fair. It's under what Vegas says, but I say that to put this up and say, look, I kind of went the other way in the sense that I looked at the other dudes on the team and I teased them all down pretty significantly. And I put them in a little poll, like a little shepherd's pie, to get to plus 225. I got Barner, 24 yards receiving, Mr. Cooper Kupp, the Yak Monster himself, 22 yards receiving, and Shaheed, 27 yards receiving. Put those little things together like a little Lego set, Adam, and I get to plus 225. I know 2 of these parts you probably like, but do you like all 3?
This is tough. I feel like when you start getting into 3-part parlays, that's when things start getting a little extra spicy to me.
That's Vegas is like, this is easy. They don't give you, profit boosts for 3-part parlays ever because they're not sucker bets at all, dude.
No, not sucker bets at all. And I don't know that this is a sucker bet except for just that Rams front 4 in no Charles Cross in the weather. I just feel like production is going to be low in the passing game as a whole. I feel like
it's got to come from somewhere.
I feel like Shaheed getting to 27 is the one that worries me the most because I could see, because Kupp's game right now isn't predicated off of any sort of quick cuts or anything like that, right? It's just he knows where he needs to be. He's there on time, and Sam can get him the ball. That could be a nice security blanket in bad weather. And Barner, big-bodied and all that, same kind of principle there, but probably not going to be able to get a lot of run after catch on a sloppy field. The Shaheed part, he's been coming alive the last few games, but getting the ball downfield and the type of touches I think he would see. And that's 27 receiving yards for Shaheed, right? Like no fly sweeps, none of that stuff.
Correct. Yep. Receiving. So, but I like
plus
the way
225's healthy.
Yeah, I like the way you broke it down, though, because it does make sense that, hey, Barner's around the line. It's just, hey, what's around the line of scrimmage? Kupp, turn around, balls in your gut. Barner, turn around, balls in your gut, right? Shaheed, longer developing, try to get behind safeties, the deeper crossers, the 15 to 18-yard outs. All of those things are going to be tougher to get tonight just because the weather is what the weather is, right? Oh, but not tough to get on screen here is Mr. Samuel Gelber. What do we got, Adam?
Oh, we got Sam coming in with a $12 super chat in honor of the 12s on game day here. Thank you so much, Sam. Sending this in pregame for good luck. Beat the LA Invaders back across the Mississippi. And that's hilarious. I love that, Sam, because they are a nomadic team that can't seem to choose a home. They're as fickle to their fan base as their fan base is to them. And that's always fun. Let's not forget also, Clinton, Ryan 911 coming in with the $9.99 super chat. Live executive producer Ryan here with the Go Hawks. I know exactly how fired up he is.
Man, I'm fired up to see that. That, by the way, Ryan, all these folks chiming in, all of them are members on our Discord. And, Ryan is affectionately known as Coach out on the Discord, Frost. So, Coach, I can't wait to hang with you. And Sam and Godzilla Hawk and Michael Knight, everybody who's chiming in. Thank you. Shane, I've invited you to the Discord before. So if you ever want to get in, dude, of course, just holler.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, my third down bet, there's a story behind this one. But first and foremost, I'm sorry.
That was your third down bet.
That's my third down bet, but it's now my Fail Mary. We rotated over to me. My Fail Mary bet. I have a story tied to to Mr. Earl Thomas. So I'll put it on screen. Then I'll tell the little, the anecdote, if you will. I've got tonight, man, plus 5,500 for Ernest Jones to take one back to the house. He disappears. He kind of fades. He kind of just does a little backpedal. Stafford doesn't see him, and then blammo, it's in his gut, and Stafford's getting laid out by like Leo, and Ernest Jones is dancing for 6 on Stafford. Now, the reason I select this was texting with Earl today because we're going to try to get him on the show next week, and I sent Earl. John Gruden did an awesome breakdown. Did you saw Gruden's
I saw part of it. Yeah. Gruden's been killing those.
I know. They're so good. They're so good. And towards the end, like almost an hour in, if anybody wants to go watch it before kickoff, about an hour in, he starts talking about Ernest Jones, and he's like, look, this guy's a missile. He's like, he reminds me of Earl Thomas. And of course they play different positions, but then he goes off and just kind of glows about Earl Thomas for about 90 seconds. Right. So I sent that to Earl. I'm like, Earl, dude, it's like, John's just like loving on you. I was like, he loves you, dude. So then Earl sent me back a note being like, man, how much it meant to him to see that. Thank you for passing it along. He's like, look, Ernest has the tackles come to him, not the tackles, like left tackle, right tackle. He's like, the tackles come to him. He goes, as a safety, you got to seek out your tackles. He's like, so it's a bit different. Yeah. He goes, but that dude's a tackling machine. So high honor coming from John Gruden. So in honor of Gruden, in honor of Earl Thomas, and by the way, it is Earl's son's birthday, V Thomas. I want to give a shout out to V out there. And in honor of all them, I got this Fail Mary for plus 5,500. I mean, for the Hawkra alone, Adam, wouldn't it be something if this hits?
Oh, it would be lovely. Of course, this is what we want. And it may very well happen, Clinton, because let's think about it. Now we're in irrational Fail Mary land. So now we can have irrational Fail Mary storylines that support bets that are glorious like this. Look, the football gods have decided that this week the Rams shall not pass. They started at the end of their last game, smiting down Devontae Adams as he comes up lame with a hammy. Then he infects Puka Nacua somehow with some craziness that's made him do something controversial online and inject a bunch of controversy into the locker room, destabilizing things on a short week. And it's going to be so difficult for Sean to get past the smell of his hair gel to figure out what to do. It's going to be amazing. And then on top of all of that, you have the Perna curse wheel coming through and cursing these guys and making it so that it's a near lock that they go home with a loss. And then to top it off, what would top that off, Clinton, is for Ernest freaking Jones IV to go out there, get a pick against his old team, run it back to the house, his house, by the way, not your house. You're not there, in case you were confused once again. And at that point, Hawks go up. They have a victory. Clinton hits plus 5,500. Everything's right in the world. I love it. This is what's happening. I'm in.
Oh, my goodness. I love it so much. Look, you have a Fail Mary, too. I don't think I could give you quite the oomph, but I'll try. I love your Fail Mary. Let's hit it. But, dude, that was one for the ages. So great job. That's probably the best reaction to a Fail Mary bet. It has to happen now. But how about yours? Let's talk about that, too.
All right. This is from the heart. This bet is just from deep in the heart for me. I've been talking about it's going to be K9's days. One of these days, he's going to hit a couple explosives that we're all going to be like, where's that been? And it's going to be a big difference in our life and our season. And it just hasn't quite happened yet. Because he's been saving it, Clinton. He's been saving it for this stupid week against this stupid team. K9 to go over 90-plus rushing yards, and then it's always love to bet on the tight ends, man. I love me some tight ends. And look, A.J. Barner in the red zone has been a nice target, so you combine Kenneth Walker going out and doing what he needs to do in the weather to pull this offensive along and make things a little easier on Sam. A.J. Barner there with a security blanket catch in the end zone gets me to plus 1,300. And this is the A.J. Barner touchdown. It's going to happen after the E.J. Return for an interception.
Nice.
And just kind of put the icing on the cake. I'll hit my plus 1,300. And again, everything's right in the universe.
What's better than one Fail Mary hitting, Adam?
What's that?
What's better than one Fail Mary hitting?
Oh, all the fail Marys.
At least, both and or all, right? Which is the answer for
all of them.
All the Fail Marys. So that's that, dude. I love it. I think putting this energy into the universe, I think it's gonna matter tonight. I don't know why or how. I might not be superstitious, but I'm a little stitious, right? So it's gonna be a ton of fun. And we got folks like just reacting and getting. I think the job for tonight was, come on, if you want to have a beer or whatever you're drinking, who cares? I don't care if it's a sarsaparilla or a just a non-alcoholic seltzer or flat water for that matter. But to come on here, get some news, get some updates, but have some fun, but just get in the right mindset to get out there and kick the living what out of those Rams. So Adam, if folks are maybe here for the first time or they haven't decided to join us quite yet in the flock, what can they be doing? Because this is the kind of stuff we give them at least 5 days a week.
Oh, 100%, man. And it's a joy to do it. And we do it with you guys, which is so much fun. Love these live streams. Look, we'll start out with a low cost investment from you. Just go ahead, hit the like button. Easy peasy. No harm, no foul. Only the NSA is tracking you. It's nothing to worry about. And then if you feel like you can do more, then just hit the subscribe button. We can go there. You get on board. You get the notifications. You never miss a show. And you never miss a smile that way, because we just like to bring joy into everybody's life. If you feel like you can give even more, up the Hawker on this glorious Thursday where the Seahawks take control of the division, go to getintheflock.com, join the Patreon. There's a bunch of different levels there with all sorts of different benefits to each one, and get us going here as we go down the stretch, make the playoffs. And man, just do one of those three things. And if you can't do any of them, so be it. Have yourself a day, because we're all going to enjoy the victory either way. Well,
it could be like Witherfork, because he's over in Australia, I believe. And if he's 4 beers in, so I mean, you could be 2 if you want to be. It's all good.
I'm telling you, I'm drinking during this game, so post game is going to be slightly inebriated, Adam. So if that's something that does or doesn't appeal, I'm just letting you know ahead of time. So
tap water saying Witherfork day drinking, nice, which is awesome. Hey, there's a little bit of news here too. I saw this on Twitter, but I was like, is this real? Is this Baker Breadman type stuff? But Puka, it looks like he's going to be suspended for the first series. So
I'm going to have to go look what this video was.
Yeah. I mean,
I hear you. Yeah. I'll go look.
It's not smart regardless, and it is clearly a distraction. And the person he's hanging out with has a past and a history of doing things that aren't great. Right. And he's trying to bring it into the Rams locker room, literally try to get the streamers in this week. So the whole team's pissed at him. And some people are like, hey, it's really, really bad. And some people are like, it's really dumb. And in the middle is probably, where it's at. But to the point the Rams are suspending him or sitting him for the first series, he's done some dumb stuff. And that's what the Rams fans are talking about. I do want to call out another Rams fan who's here, because he said a nice thing, and I think that's cool. So 30 and Wake Up says, been enjoying your stream this week. From a Rams perspective, no matter what happens this game, it doesn't really matter. I don't know about that. He says the third time we meet will be for all the marbles, and then he gives a score, which I'm not going to read live. But I do appreciate I'm not going to read that live. But I do appreciate that we've got some crossover people, and at the end of it, we're all just dudes and girls, and we're hanging out with each other and having some fun and getting around something where we could tell you to go kick rocks, you could tell us to go kick rocks, and we could go watch a really fun, entertaining game. And I got one very, very last thing for folks. You got about an hour to kick off, a little less than an hour to kick off. That pregame show that's on the screen right there that Mr. Phil did with you and me yesterday, Adam. one theme, 6 questions. You want to get just more fired up? Go right to that thumbnail, hit that, watch that for the first 40 minutes before kickoff, get even more fired up, because that'll be a good way for you to get real centered. Adam, I'm feeling centered. I am elevated. My valency is at other levels. I'm ready for kickoff, and I am ready for us to beat the freaking 49ers and celebrate late into the evening as we roll into the holidays and I cruise into a Friday. I want a victory Friday so freaking bad, dude.
So bad I can taste it. It feels like everything's lining up for it. I've talked myself into a level of confidence I didn't have to 2 days ago. I'm feeling great about it. My Hawkers aligned. I think everybody else is ready to go. And I think there's 2 things left to say this week. First one, Clinton, fuck the Rams. And with that,
I think there's only one thing left to say.
Yeah, go Hawks.
Go Hawks.